Hello, I'm the Loot Cartographer, and this is the 178th video in my Fallout 76 Surveyal series, and here we are at the Whitespring Golf Club. Taking a look at the map, the actual golf club marker is right up there, but the golf course, which we're going to be covering here, extends all over this area. Now, along with the golf course, we're also going to be looking at the tennis club, the golf club, and the pool up here as well. Now, we're not going to look at the shops and the cabins and all that, along with the Whitespring itself. That's going to be in the next video. So, the enemies you're going to find here, we got, okay, let me just say out 3 categories here. We got non-hostile, hostile, and traps. So in terms of non-hostile, there are Assaultrons, like you can see right back there, Protectrons, Mr. Gutsies, and of course the Sentrybots as well. Along with that, there is a frog that's up in the pool that is non-hostile. In terms of the hostile enemies, Bloat flies, feral ghouls, Mirelurks, mole miners, mongrels, radroaches, Radstag, Snallygasters, Stingwings, Supermutants, ticks, Wendigo, and Guai. All these things I have found here at this location. It's a very large location, so it should not be that surprising that there are that many enemies. Along with that, in terms of collectibles, we've got Aster, Blackberries, Bloodleaf, Brain Fungus, Chimes, Firecracker berries, glowing fungus, glowing resin, Rhododendron, Silt beans, Snaptails, soot flowers, wild carrot flowers, wood piles, and a Guai corpse. All these things can be looted multiple times whenever you come back here, and in fact the respawn rate for things here is incredibly high. That's because it was originally basically the same as you'd find anywhere else in the game, but early on in the game's run, it was determined that the respawn rate was far too low because people were nuking this location basically on an hourly basis to get all the flux out of all the plants and everything like that, and things were just not respawning fast enough, so they ticked it up to really high levels. And in fact, while most videos I can't really revisit the place for a few days before the stuff will actually reload, the actual day that I looked over the entirety of the Whitespring, the stuff had respawned. So that shows you how fast things respawn here. So we're actually starting here at the first hole of the golf course, and I'll point out the sign over here real quick. Hole 1. But before we even actually go into that, I want to show you the interior of the security booth over here first. So, and also note the super mutant attackers here that have been wiped out by the robots. Although I don't even know if they really have been, or if they were just kind of dead here already. I did hear these things shooting, but you never really know. So, some board games, books, things like that. The board games make me think that there potentially were 2 guards in here, because I don't know why a single person would need a board game. But why don't we go ahead and start following the golf course down. This is, of course, where you would tee off. And now we get down to the fairway. There are multiple holes in the fence. Why don't we take a look over here. And you can see the wall has been broken in. No enemies here though. But we can take a look at this. And this is clearly some sort of vent for the Whitespring Congressional Bunker. And along with that we've got a toolbox in here full of junk. Okay. Now we got some blackberries growing here, and let's cross the fairway and head over to this unisex bathroom with its 2 water fountains, some Aster, a bike, and a golf cart. We can also go around to this side where you can find a place to sit, a Nuka-Cola machine, some firecracker berries, and an Eatetronic. Why don't we go ahead and check out the interior here. And in here we've got just a standard bathroom, really. Cigarette machine along with that, and a heater. I'm not entirely sure why the heater would be out here. I don't know that people would really be playing this in the winter, but who knows, maybe it gets cold at night. Along with that, just looks like a little utility thing right there in terms of that cabinet. Okay, why don't we go ahead and get back on the fairway. Sand trap there. Water hazard there in the form of that river, but we'll see that soon enough. Right up over here, we have another breach in the fence. This one appears to have been something they were trying to fix before the war. And you even have the robots here guarding the location. Now there's a shovel here. And these locations can sometimes have things like sledgehammers and stuff like that to show that they were working. See some soot flowers out there and rhododendron. Alright. Large front loader here. I'm not entirely sure what that would be here for, but anyway. So yeah, like I said before, the water hazard of the river here. The golf cart path has this little bridge, some wild carrot flowers growing there, and we could head on down here to the first hole with the sand traps and the spot where the golf carts would be parked. And you can see they got a little cooler here, and this is the tee-off spot for hole 2. I'm going to go ahead and head back over to the path here. And you can see some silt beans and hole 2. Now along with that, there's this little concession stand here. Wild carrot flowers, Nuka-Cola machine, milk machine. Milk seems like an odd choice for this area. But then the actual concessions area, you can head around here, head inside, and we got some beverage machines, a place to cook. And why don't we go ahead and follow basically where this water hazard goes, which is right over here to this pond. Now this pond has Bloodleaf growing in it, but along with that it has some golf balls, a little fishing boat out there with a couple guys and a fishing rod. But along with that, there are Mirelurks that live in these waters. Now I did kill these things just a minute ago, but they are in fact back, so... And by the way, I did not bother killing things beforehand because I knew with the rate of respawn it would not make any sense to do so. Alright. So, because this pond dead ends right here, I have to think that this is entirely artificial and that the water here would then be pumped back up to the other end of the river and come back down in here again. Another place to sit. A lot of golf balls around here. These things are made out of cork and plastic, so it's a very good site if you're looking for that kind of material. Alright, back over to the main path. Okay, and back onto the second hole's fairway. Just keep following this down. Another large hole in the wall there. Keep on going. And an even larger hole right over here. And in this case, the robots that were guarding this hole are now dead. Now, along with that, you can see what caused the hole. This truck running off the road. You can see the large traffic jam over there. I don't know if it tried to get around and then ended up losing control. But along with that, we've got a junk deposit right over here. I didn't actually note this before, but I may as well. Now, along with that, there are a whole bunch of those gondolas that they would have been taken up to the top of the world. So, anyway, though, when I get back onto the fairway... Okay. More robots over here. In this case, you can potentially find a lot of enemies breaching this fence over here. Multiple times I've found mole miners in this area, along with that Supermutants. So keep that in mind. This area can be fairly dangerous. Look, you can see the latest crop of feral ghouls that came through here. Along with that, we've got this gentleman here who is drinking his bourbon, spreading his rat poison and fertilizer. A lot of rat poison on site. Very good source of lead. Alright. Now, this was the end of the second hole. And we've got the golf cart path again over here. A lot of golf clubs. In fact, I think I found 39 golf clubs in all. Now, I probably missed some here and there. There are so many of them. I don't know why they were putting their golf balls into the ashtray here, but anyway, coming over here, got another unisex bathroom. Actually, no, sorry. This is actually a utility closet here for the groundskeepers. A lot of good junk in here. Okay. Alright, Aster right there, another golf cart. And why don't we go ahead and check out the tee-off location for the third hole, which also has its own breach in the wall with a dead feral ghoul and some dead robots. Now, this dead feral ghoul is just always here. This is not something where they've just recently been attacked, but just something to keep in mind there. Now we can head up this way to follow along the fairway for the third hole. Dead golfer there. Let's get up here. Some silt beans off there near that sand trap. Okay. I'm going to try to preserve my stamina a little bit because this is a long run here. More sand traps. And finally up here, the third hole. If you look over there, you can see the first hole's fairway. Large sand trap here. And we'll get back over to the path over here. Okay. Now if we follow this up here, we'll get to the tee-off spot for hole 4. Alright, now, but before we continue on down that way, let's take a look over here where you can see that gate where we started out, and Golf Road, which continues along this way with this traffic jam of cars that are all stuck here. Along with that, if we come down this way a little ways, you can see some of these old baggage carts, dead Protectron, and a couple of dead guests. I think they were trying to flee the resort on the day of the bombs. Now, there also were people that stayed in the resort, but we'll get to that stuff later, both in this video and in the one after the next one, which will actually be the interior video. Blackberries. Let's get back over to the fourth hole's fairway here. Start following it down. And right here we have this tractor with a cart with a bunch of junk on the back of it. Now, sand trap there. Another sand trap down there. There's the hole. But before we head down there, we can see where there were a couple of drunken golfers. A lot of beer bottles. A lot of golf balls, golf clubs. Not sure why those golf balls would be here after 27 years, but anyway. A little bit more of that traffic jam that's been caused by this. And we can head up into this bus. And there's a dead resident, or not resident, dead guest right there. Now, strangely, the other bus, which was leaving the site, has no one on board. And I don't entirely know why it's still here, why nobody decided to take this thing and try to drive off with it. But anyway, let's keep on heading down this way. We got some glowing resin on that tree. And here we are at the fourth hole on the golf course with its two golfers, one of which was about to get a hole here when the world ended. Now, I don't really think that's the case. Doesn't make any sense. They were not close enough to the bombs for someone who have just died here, but it's one of those things where Bethesda likes to show life as it was with the skeletons. So anyway, let's head up this way. And we have the other end of Golf Road. Now, if you watched the first video in this series on the Whitespring, this road right here is what runs up to the lookout, the Whitespring lookout up there. Got some soot flowers there. Why don't we check out the interior of this guard station, where we have a safe, a level 1 safe there. A little bit more junk around here. Some caps, and I've even found a cap stash in here before. Now, why don't we go ahead and get back out here. Blackberries. Okay, and here we are at the tee-off spot for hole 5. This hole seems like it would be really, really difficult, and I will say that this golf course does not seem to be very well designed, and we'll see why that is later in the course. Because, I mean, look at this. It's basically, you're looking at like a 20-degree grade here, something like that at least. For some reason, always a Radroach here on this green. And look at that, the green itself, very, very well sloped here. Okay. Now, before we continue on with the golf course, we actually, you'll see in a minute why we can't really. We're going to go ahead and head up this way. And that's my little camp here where I've got an observer station at the top there. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But we're going to follow this path over here. And it's going to bring us right on over to the driving range. And here we have the first NPC, well, the only NPC that we can actually talk to. This gentleman that was added with Wastelanders, Fritz.
Back in my day, the world wasn't such a fucking disaster. Do you make less than 100,000 caps per year? Then you're not welcome here!
What is this place?
This mighty fine establishment is the one and only Whitespring Resort, where only millionaires are welcome. If you're a helpless youth with no assets to your name and nowhere else to go, well, that's too bad! Get lost!
Okay. Do you have something against the Whitespring?
Whatever do you mean? How could I possibly have any complaints with a luxurious top-floor view of the apocalypse and a shining silver spoon up my ass? I simply love to sip tea and watch the peasants die of radiation poisoning.
Does anyone still live here?
Not anymore. Apparently the robots booted all the guests to the curb for some pre-scheduled renovations. Suddenly they were forced to brave the wasteland just like the rest of us. Ha! Ahem, I mean, what a shame the most admirable upper class suffered such a tragic injustice.
Does money and social class really matter anymore?
Why, of course it does. In a world like this, banding together is necessary for survival. But it wouldn't do to shack up with just any old ragamuffins waving guns around and wearing scraps for clothing. I am, of course, cut from a finer cloth. This dapper clothing and refined accent serve to set that standard for the new world.
Let's talk about something else.
Sure thing, kiddo. What do you want to know?
What's your story, Gramps?
Well, it's funny you ask. I was just thinking about the good old days when I could shoot birdies out on the lawn without getting mauled by ferals. Ah, those were the simple days. Just playing golf and happily ignoring all the problems in the world.
Love your little get up. Did you loot it off some bodies around here?
Get up? Well, I never. All right, you got me. I'm a raider who's got nothing better to do, okay? I spend my days fending off irradiated monstrosities to survive. Anyway, why not make some fun out of it?
Do you really like golfing?
It's my favorite hobby.
Back to the voice.
Now these days it's hard to find a quality golf ball, so I aim for ghoul heads instead. Normally it takes a couple strokes to knock those stubborn suckers off their tees, but next time I'm shooting for a hole-in-one.
Let's talk about something else.
Certainly.
I'll be going now. Happy golfing.
To you as well, stranger.
Okay. Let's just take a quick look around his little shack here. Some cotton candy bites there. Some cream, which is really creepy to think about, drinking this like 27-year-old cream. Along with that, some purified water. More cotton candy bites. His little sleeping spot here. Some golf bags. Golf pencils. Golf ball. Golf skirt. Golf outfit. Golf balls. So, alright. But along with that, there's the driving range itself. A lot of golf balls out here. Golf club as well. Let's take a look out here. Now, we got multiple holes out here on the driving range. 5, in fact. Now, those back ones are nothing to see there. But right up here, we got golf balls on the green here around these holes. Now, I don't know exactly how it is that these golf balls have stayed in these positions, because I would be assuming that there are still Mr. Gutsies coming out here mowing the lawn or something. But anyway, let's go ahead and head back this way. And look at that, the sun is already setting. That's how long we've been out here exploring this course. Okay, let's get back over the bridge. And by the way, this right here is Hill Street. I can't remember if I noted that in the very beginning or not. But it runs up to the pool, the golf club, the tennis club, and the rest of the Whitespring itself. So anyway, let's go ahead and head back this way. Alright, and this right here is of course where we got off from the 5th hole. Now if we head down this way, you'll find that we're at another green here. Now that doesn't really make any sense because we just finished the 5th hole right up here. Well, turns out that this thing, this golf course, starts over there and ends right over here. Now we actually have to go back up this way, and we're going to have to follow this path back up around to try to get up to the next hole, the 6th hole. Got some of these little retaining walls along the path to keep the ground from collapsing onto the road. Okay, there's the golf club itself. Probably going to start seeing some feral ghouls here. Let's just keep on going past it though. A lot of golf carts out here. Some golf bags. Just a lot of trash. Some clutter, some junk. Radstag yearling out there that feral ghoul was going after. Okay, here we go. This is the tee-off spot for hole 6. Now, before we go to that, I'm going to go take a look at this other little shack over here. Another employees-only utility shed here. A lot of junk in here, a lot of clutter. And if we go around to the backside, you can see one of the painters that was struck in the eye with a golf ball by one of the golfers. Now, I don't think that this is like an actual story taking place here. I think this is just a little gag from Bethesda, because there are a few other spots where you find stuff like this, though. But along with that, we can actually get on top of this thing, and you can see that there's this woman here with a spear, some bobby pins, and an explosives crate. I don't really know exactly what was going on up here. Okay, so with that said, again, this is the tee-off spot for the 6th hole. You can see some golf balls, golf bag, golf club. We'll head up this way, and you can see this river through here, another water hazard, and a canoe with a couple of skeletons in it, and you can see that they were also struck by multiple golf balls. Cooler there, dirty water around them, and we can head down here to this bridge which is surrounded by Rhododendron, wild carrot flowers, and a bunch of these Snaptails. So really there's a lot of stuff you can find here in terms of collectible nodes. Now along with that there's another dead robot over here in a sunken golf cart. Okay, let's cross this bridge and continue to follow the course of the 6th hole. Got some Liberator robots up here. And a whole lot of feral ghouls, as per usual. Now these Liberator bots are likely here due to the fact that under the Whitespring Resort, a little bit of a spoiler here from the Wastelanders questline, there is a Chinese intelligence base beneath the Whitespring, down in an area called the Deep. Now we're not going to be covering that area with this. I'll cover that in a separate video, but it's not really part of the Whitespring, even though it is right here underneath it. Take care of these feral ghouls real quick. Okay. So we got a golf cart here, golf bag, golf tees, golf clubs. And if you check out this area over here, large hole in the ground with a skeleton and a golf cart with, in this case, a Nuka-Cola Quantum. Now along with that, I don't even know what the story is here. I think this is one of those just little gags by Bethesda, because I can't imagine a circumstance where that really makes any sense. But anyway, we'll continue up this way. And we finally get to the hole of the the 6th hole. We were on the fairway of the 6th hole. Anyway, coming up a little bit further, cabins and things like that. All that stuff will be covered in the next video. But we're going to cover this gate here in this video. You can see the robots here defending us from these feral ghouls. Now we can take a look in here. Got some junk in here. Okay. And let's go ahead and check out this office over here. This is actually the office for the golf course itself. Not the golf club, but the golf course. Take a look in here. Alright, and here we have the desk of the the golf club architect. The golf course architect, I should say. A little bit of brain fungus in here. Some junk. Okay, coming around the desk, there's a safe. And along with that, we have a note here. Letter of Resignation. From October 8th, 2077. Dad, you're probably pretty mad right now. I suppose you have a right to be. This is a mess. I'm no golf course architect. I don't know the first thing about golf. The robots kept hounding me, so I scribbled something on a napkin and left it to them. I appreciate everything you've done for me, but I don't want to take over your business. Stop trying to drag me into it. I'm a nuclear engineer, Dad, not a gardener. I spent the summer working on my dissertation. It's done. I'm heading back to CIT to present my defense, and then I'm never setting foot on a golf course again. Ryan Ainsley. Now, of course, CIT is the institute up in Boston, the Commonwealth Institute of Technology that became the synth-producing institute by Fallout 4. Okay, so interesting stuff there. But we're not done here. We can actually go upstairs as well. Head around the back, and we got some stairs. Place to sit up here, to drink, to grill. Alright, and that pretty much does it for this part of this area. But let's keep on moving. And right over here we have the refreshments cart. Dead Protectron there. But we can keep following this path around because there's still more to see over on this side. Got a large breach in the wall right there, but nothing coming through. At least not at the moment. Some blackberries, rhododendron, wild carrot flowers. And right over there we have a little interesting thing to see. Plane crash. Including the pilot right here with his wraparound goggles. Okay. Alright, we'll continue along here. Another breach in the wall here. This is where the Liberators were coming through just now. Okay, so that was the 6th hole we just covered, right? Let's get down this way. Alright, going past this little shed here that I pointed out with the painter behind it. Another breach in the wall over there. Typically, a lot of the time I've seen mongrels coming through right over there. Not right now, though. Dead golfer right here, and a drinker by the looks of it as well. Okay, so this is the tee-off spot for hole 7. So, let's follow this fairway for hole 7 down. Got 4 golf carts crashed into each other down there. Along with that, we have got this gentleman here who is sitting down to drink a beer. We'll follow this to see another breach in the wall. This one guarded by robots. And let's see what was coming through here just now. Oh, feral ghouls.
Sensor alert. Anomaly detected.
Oh, yep, feral ghouls. Okay, another sand trap. Let's keep on following this down. Actually, why don't we take a look at that wreck before we do that? You can see they were jousting. So that's what happened right here. Alright. Back to the main path. Okay. Sand trap I pointed out before. Let's keep on heading down. The lookout's right up there. Another lovely little place to sit. Nice and flowery. Okay. And here we come to the non-unisex bathroom. You can go in on this side and see that the floor has been utterly destroyed. Got a broken sink, broken toilet, and we can go ahead and head around to the women's bathroom, where we find an explosives crate and some explosives, broken toilet, broken sink, and a skeleton. I don't really know exactly what to say about this. I mean, I don't know what the cause of that could possibly be. Nothing on the roof. Alright, and here we go. The 7th hole. And that's it. There are 7 holes on this golf course. That right there is number 5. Now, you might be thinking, that's kind of weird. 7 holes? I've never heard of a 7-hole golf course. Again, that's because Ryan Ainsley, the nuclear engineer who didn't know anything about golf, scribbled something on a napkin and handed it off to the robots to work it out. Now, there's also a holotape that you can find called Spring Heel Feedback. Let's find that real quick here. This is one that you only can pick up once from a quest. Here we go.
Mr. Ainsley, I wanted to remark upon the fascinating design of your new Spring Hill golf course. You appear to have 7 holes. 7. What a curious number. 9 I could understand. Or perhaps 6 played thrice. But 7? Most courses put ever so much effort into varying their holes. You appear to have liked your 3rd so much, you repeated it immediately. Or take the cart paths. One normally takes such little note of them. I had a wonderful chance to reflect on that during the 3-mile drive from the 5th hole to the 6th. And then 7. Ah, 7. Such a slope. It would make a fabulous ski run. Not that teeing off with the 400-yard putt wasn't a unique experience. I confess, when I heard you had carved up your championship golf course for housing tracks, I was concerned it might have impacted the quality a little. Clearly, I underestimated the scope of your ambition. Cordially yours, Henrietta Winchester.
I think that she might have been a little disingenuous in her praise there. What do you think? Alright, we're done here on the actual golf course. Let's get up to the buildings. The pool, the tennis club, the tennis court, and the golf club itself. Now, night has completely fallen here. That shows you how large a location it is that we're covering. Let's get up to the... we'll start off, actually... how about at the tennis club? Alright, well, before we get to the tennis club, we're going to go past the pool. Got this truck here. Someone was doing some gardening. There's some cut rhododendron over there. Now, we're probably going to be swarmed by feral ghouls here anytime now. Basically, this parking lot is part of the area that I'm covering in this video. Not too much to see here. A lot of rhododendron. But basically, I cut things off right about here. This is the area that we're going to be covering in the next video. There's the end of Hill Street, though. Heading back down there towards the traffic jam, the driving range. Okay, the pool here. The tennis club, or sorry, the golf club. And the tennis club. Let's go around and take a look at the tennis club. Now this little dome here is going to be covered in the next video, so ignore it for now. But here's the tennis club, along with the tennis courts. Tennis courts seem to be in relatively good shape. The tennis club itself is closed. I don't know exactly for what reason, but we can go ahead and head around. Oh. Yeah, Guai. Oh. Okay, I thought it was still coming. And if we come around this way, you can see that there is a spot where they were working on this AC unit, and there's some brain fungus growing on it. Some tools there, some water. Alright. There's also a gas leak here, so watch out for that. And if we go up on the roof, you can see that there's just a lot of ducting. Not really anything else to see up here, though, so no worries if you can't get up here like I can because I'm playing in my Fallout world. Okay. So we got this little beer crate here, well, Nuka-Cola crate, I guess. Coming around here to the front of the golf club. We got a lot of places to sit and eat. Got a board game here for whatever reason. Nuka-Cola machine with some Nuka-Cola. Ice machine, more places to sit. Trash can. And before we go in, we're going to take a look at this bus. Golf balls, golf club, trash, golf bag, golf outfit. Okay. This thing can explode though. All the cars out here can, so watch out for that. Ice cream stand, and here we face a trap. In this case, we've actually got a makeshift bomb trap. Now there's also a gun trap inside. I actually don't think I mentioned the, I said that there were traps, I don't think I told you about the traps. Makeshift bomb and gun. If I did, then I did, but otherwise, there you go. And here's some of the can chimes I mentioned as well. Let's go ahead and head around here, and let's go inside. Okay. This place is something of a mess, but it does also still look relatively well kept. At least when you look at these kind of cases and stuff. Okay. A lot of feral ghouls in here, so there's just going to be some combat. I mean, this place is kind of a mess in terms of the number of feral ghouls that are just in here, around here, coming down through the ceiling, in the kitchen, downstairs, all over the place here. Definitely just heard more of them somewhere. Open a door, but anyway, got a Nuka cherry right there. There's also a beer bottle. Whole lot of ceramic here in terms of all the plates and the vases, so that's something to keep in mind. Paper from all the napkins. So let's see, where are y'all? I can hear you coming. Well, we'll ignore them until they actually come after us. Newspapers as well for paper. There's a recipe right here next to this noodle cup, the salt and pepper, so keep that in mind. Coming around here, more can chimes. And we've got a couple bathrooms here. Women's bathroom, I believe. Okay. And the men's. Okay. Alright. And I don't know. Yeah, again, you can interact with the makeshift bomb here and trigger it if you want to. But along with that, watch out for the tripwire there on the ground. Okay. Coming around in here, got the kitchen, some refrigerators, a little bit of produce in there, a lot of dishes, oil on the ground here that can ignite if you shoot it, pumpkin pie there. Okay, little grass out here where you can actually also pick the rhododendron if you're out there in that little flower bed. Another feral ghoul. There's a lot of beer here, as I'm sure you saw with all the golf carts out there as well. And most of it's just beer bottles, but you can occasionally find things like the old possum right over here. Okay, got a sealed door here, but if we come over here, we got a gun trap with a tripwire. So we can... There you go. Okay, and we got a little bit of a bar over here. Got some rum, some bourbon, some wine. And here they come again through the ceiling. Got some fashionable glasses there. Got a few TVs. And over here we have the billiards room. And in here there are at least 10 pool cues. So keep that in mind. For some reason there's also a ski pole. I don't really know why. But yeah, there you go. Alright. Before we move on from here, I was editing and I realized that I forgot to show you a holotape that you can find here that explains what happened here at the golf club. And let's go ahead and play that. It's called They're Coming.
They keep coming. They just keep coming. Rob saw them first. Just three. Out of the seventh. Easy shots from up here. At first, we thought it was fun. Tried to see who could pick them off. Extra points for the head. Then Rob went missing. Went down to the range. Wasn't far. It wasn't back by dark. Then Ted, Zach, Phil, Mark. God, Mark. They dragged him. I can still hear him screaming. Now we're three. Just three. Can't run. Can't hold. Can't. They're coming. They're coming!
So yeah, we'll go over this stuff more when we get to the interior of the Whitespring, but there were guests that managed to stay here for a few years after the bombs. Now, they eventually were kicked out by the robots that were running the location because they were having a scheduled renovation of the place, and they were kicking out all the guests at that time, so they had to leave, and so they decided to come here, and then they contended with the feral ghoul problem of all the folks that were not inside the safety of the Whitespring when the bombs came down. Anyway, let's get back to the rest of the video. I think that gives you a pretty good view of this room. Again, the back room there is also closed. Okay. So this room that we first came into with the kitchen is called the Champions Club. This one is called the Tap Room. Obviously, there's a bar there, so that makes sense. Now let's go ahead and head downstairs. Alright. A lot of feral ghouls down here, and also potentially a Wendigo. So this room is completely collapsed, and there's also a gas leak, as you can see. But we can take a look around here in the pro shop. Multiple feral ghouls in here pretending to be dead, or pretending to sleep. Or perhaps even sleeping. But a lot of junk in here. We got golf outfits, faded visors, golf bags, golf clubs. Okay, some cash registers. Alright. Now let's go ahead and take a look out here real quick. Got a little patio. We came up past here on our way back up to the 6th hole. Just a place to sit out here. Okay. And why don't we go ahead and head around and inside. Okay. Now, we're in this hallway here with this gentleman with his black cowboy hat. And along with that, you can potentially find a bobblehead right here. Now, if we keep going this way, there's a little... Well, that's like a snack kitchen, I guess you could say. Place for beverages and for ready-made stuff. Through this door, we can come back out here onto this little patio. Alright. Let's go ahead and head back in. Alright, we got a little lounge area here with more feral ghouls. And even though this guy's now leaning on it, you can see the magazine back through there. Okay. Alright. More feral ghouls. And that one didn't even respond. Well, okay, one of them hit me. Okay, pot in here. Little counter here. And another safe. A little too safe there. Why don't we go ahead and check out this little bathroom. Nothing to see there. But we can also check out this bathroom with some glowing fungus and some brain fungus. And there's even one more stall with this gentleman who decided to drink his cares away. New River Ale there and a Blackwater Brew. Not sure why my vision is distorted like it is. But if we come in here... Radroaches, showers, Kimbox. Okay, coming in through here, this is typically where you find a glowing one or a Wendigo. Neither in this case for whatever reason. Bowler hat, a lot of faded visors. What's this right here? Dirty tan suit. Steamer trunk for the location. Okay, what is that right there? Blue batting helmet. Haven't seen that one here before. Okay. And that... that pretty much covers the downstairs, actually. Because this is where we came down. There's the pro shop. And then we've got these locker rooms back here. In the lounge. Okay. Well, we're pretty much done inside the golf club. But we can also take a look on the roof. Let's do that. Head up here. Where I found this vent was put in upside down. Just a little oversight by the devs. But you can see that these posts, which are supposed to be facing down like that one, are straight up in the air. And along with that, these vents, which you would not want exposed up for rain, are facing up. Those are supposed to be down onto the roof. Anyway, though. Oh, just a little thing, but I saw it and I thought it was kind of funny. Now, we're going to go ahead and head to the pool now. Alright, we got a lot of these drink cups. That a bottle of bourbon. A lot of alcohol out here. Rhododendron. Some junk here from the folks that were keeping the grounds. And we can head into the outdoor pool. Now, it was October when the bombs fell, so I have trouble believing that this place would have been open for business. But you can come in here. The desk for the location. Like the little office, I mean, for the lifeguards, I guess. And the pool staff. Okay. Baby carriage there. Some baby stuff. There's the frog that I was telling you. Oh, multiple frogs in this case. That are not hostile, even though they show up as red, like that. Then we can go ahead and take a look around here. The men's bathroom. Unlocked. Glowing fungus. Some nice Abraxo industrial grade cleaner in there. Some fancy lad snack cakes and cigarettes for when you're having a good time on the toilet. Got a Eatotronic with some, what is that, bubblegum? Yep. Okay. And the women's bathroom is locked. But it's just a level 0 lock, so pretty easy to get that open. Much cleaner. And no fancy lad snack cakes on the toilet. Okay, some lounge chairs. A little more fancy lad snack cakes. And we got the little concession stand here. Actual full kitchen in here and everything like that. And I think this is the refrigerator, maybe? Or just a pantry. Oop. One feral ghoul in there. Multiple bottles of Nuka-Cola. And a nice Nuka-Cola sign. Maintain a pleasant and calm demeanor. Alright, continuing around here. You can see that the fence is broken here. You can see some of the gardens, the flagpole there. More of the golf course down there. And we have the hot tub right over here. Disgusting looking, but this blue garden gnome looks to be having a good time. Cooler, more lounge chairs, more junk, some dandy boy apples there. Keep on coming around, more lounge chairs, a little bit of a locker area, and here are the showers. Okay. Not too much to see here. Let's take a look at the pool itself. You can walk in here or with either one of those. The pool is full of these cat's tails. It's pretty gross. Alright. And why don't we go ahead and head up to the roof so we can get a nice view of the entire site. This is going to take a minute. I'll bring you back when we get up there. Alright. Here we are at the top of this tower that I built specifically for the purpose of examining the golf course. So you can see hole 1 over there, hole 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we go all the way back over here to 6 and 7. Now along with that we have the actual golf club, the pool down below us, and the tennis club. I'm getting some slight little bit of jittering here. The frame rate's clearly not right where it should be, but not the end of the world. We got some shops over there. We'll be looking into that next time. A bunch of cabins. Some more cabins here. And along with that, we've got the Whitespring itself. So in the next video, we're going to be covering, like I said, the cabins and the shops, the entire exterior area of the actual Whitespring itself, including the exterior of the bunker over there. And then after that, we're going to be looking inside the Whitespring itself. That should do it, though, for the golf club. Why don't we take a look at the full list of all of the junk and loot you can find here. Okay, a lot of stuff. Well, this has been the Irresolute Cartographer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.